Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states, talking about QLAC calculators, qualified longevity annuity contracts. I swear, I laugh out loud sometimes reading the articles that are negative on QLACs or the comments on QLACs or supposed financial experts that destroy QLACs, and they're comparing them to investments. It's hilarious. I'll give you an example. One of the smartest guys in the room, if there's a Mount Rushmore of financial advice, you have Wade Pfau there, and you have Michael Kitces there, Kitces. I think that's the way you pronounce it. I read his stuff. I'm a follower. Great, smart person, but he destroys QLAC. I hate QLAC. Oh, you could do better with your investments. I hope so, Michael. I mean, investments are investments. QLACs are contractual guarantees. I understand his argument. Mike, you're watching this. I know you are. Power to you, brother. But I'm telling you, you're making an apples and oranges comparison and you're leading people astray, okay? I know in your world there are great financial advisors that are fiduciaries that are doing the right thing and that they're managing money and they're very good. But in the rest of the world, in the hinterlands over flyover America, there's a lot of garbage out there and things being pitched. QLACs are great products. In the perfect world that I want to live in, where unicorns chasing the butterflies, catch the butterflies, and then let them fly off after giving them a sweet kiss. In that world, qualified longevity annuity contracts would be the #1 selling annuity type on the planet. It's an emotional buy. Even though it's a contract, it's an emotional buy. And I'm going to tell you why after this. All right, so let's talk about the reason qualified longevity annuity contracts can be an emotional buy. Now, in 2014, when qualified longevity annuity contracts were first introduced by the Department of the Treasury and our friends at the IRS, yes, those were the people that designed qualified longevity annuity contracts. I was in Chicago at the time being Stan the Annuity Man and doing some media, and I literally locked myself into a very nice hotel room and wrote an owner's manual, the first owner's manual that I've written, and I've written 6, but qualified longevity annuity contract was the first because I wanted to get it out there on how this worked. And the reason it's emotional is because, you know, for me, like I can have an IRA and I can attach the lovely Christine as a joint, that's my wife, as the joint lifetime payment with a QLAC using my IRA. I love that. And it can be set up to where the income doesn't have to start until in the future. I can start it at age 72 or 75 or 76 or 80 or as late as age 85. I can use it to hedge against inflation, and we don't know what inflation will be. So in my opinion, it's emotional. My wife, the lovely Christine, could care less about annuities, could care less about finances, could care less about Wall Street, could care less about any of that. All she wants to do is go see the kids. Seriously, that's all she cares about. Do we have enough money to do that? Hey, Stan, when you die, when your Learjet hits the mountain that you've rented, and I was against you renting it because it was so expensive, but when it hits the mountain, what happens? Do I have enough income to go see my kids and hopeful grandkids? Yes, you do. Qualified longevity annuity contracts. Now, at the time of this taping, the rule for funding a qualified longevity annuity contract, QLAC, is the lesser of 25% of your total IRA assets or $135,000. Example, you have $1 million IRA, congratulations. You want to buy a QLAC, you can only buy $135,000 worth. 25% of your total IRA assets are $135,000, whichever is less at the time of this taping. Now, we have to talk about required minimum distributions. At the time of this taping, that's age 72, not 70 and a half. And there are actually our friends in DC, are actually talking about raising that to age 75. But at the time of this taping, it's 72. Now, qualified longevity annuity contracts, let's say you put $135,000 in, that $135,000 is not part of your RMD calculations. Give you an example. That guy who bought the 135 out of the million, okay, he take 135, the QLAC is not part of his $1 million calculation. So $1 million minus 135, that's what he is basing his calculation on for RMDs. Can that save you some taxes? Yeah. It has the potential to save you on taxes, which is always a good thing. Now, is it a huge tax savings? Probably not. Do you buy a QLAC just for that tax savings? No. You buy a QLAC for two primary reasons, in my opinion. Lifetime income, that you can attach your spouse to the QLAC for lifetime income. So if you die, then it's going to continue to pay for the rest of him or her life as long as they're breathing, and we can structure it so that when they die, 100% of the money goes to the listed beneficiaries of the policy. That's the first reason to do it, period. And the second reason is inflation. You could split it up. You could take the 135 and say, I'm going to take half of that, have income start at age 80, and then have income start at age 85. So for all the masters of the universe that are throwing darts at QLACs and saying, well, the return on investment is not that good, and I could beat it with a good portfolio and a solid money manager. Of course you can. Come on, player. That's crazy. That's apples and oranges. Annuities are contracts. Investments are investments, but annuities aren't investments. Get it? So you're either putting in contractual guarantees at income floor, and in QLAC, for a QLAC, you're putting in an income floor for the future to combine with Social Security and to combine with a pension if you're so fortunate, work for the government or good union or whatever, because less than 10% of the people out there that's worked have a pension in place from their employer, in the private sector. The other 90% of us have to create our own pension. How do you do that? Let me think. What kind of product type offers lifetime income regardless of how long you live? Annuities. And qualified longevity annuity contracts were specifically put on the planet for use in traditional IRAs and other qualified type plans. Some 401ks even offer it, okay? Which is good. Once again, I think it should be the #1 selling annuity type on the planet. The reason it's not is most agents and advisors don't even know what a QLAC is. If you want to test your agent and advisor, first of all, if you're using anyone but me, then I understand that you're using your brother-in-law or sister-in-law that's in the business. I get it. Or your frat brother that has the pictures. You have to use them. I get that. But everyone else, okay, you should be using me, Stan the Annuity Man, the top independent agent in the country, licensed in all 50 states, period. So let's talk about going to my site, theannuityman.com, going to the QLAC Calculator page and running a quote, which is good. First of all, we don't sell your name. We don't share any information. Everything is confidential. Everything is held right there at The Annuity Man, period. So feel confident to use that calculator 24/7, 365. You're going to have to put in your name. You have to put in your email address, because once you're going to put in the quote's going to pop up, but then we're going to email you that quote for you to look at in the future and put in your file if you're thinking about it and just trying to look at what the guarantees are. So you put in your name, your date of birth. You want to add your spouse, their date of birth, the state that you're in, because this is a fixed annuity and issued at the state level. And then obviously IRA, because it's a QLAC, and then when you want that income to start and the amount of money that you qualify for. Remember, 25% of your total IRA assets are $135,000, whichever is less at the time of this taping, and then you hit run the quote. You put in that lump sum, run the quote, and you will see the top carriers that are offering the best contractual guarantees for your specific situation. Understand that QLAC quotes, immediate annuity quotes, deferred income annuity quotes, any quote is like a gallon of milk. It expires every 7 to 10 days, and you can only lock in that number by going through the application process. No, that is not a sales pitch, but you have to lock in a quote with, say, XYZ annuity company. I'm not going to use any of the names out there, but let's just say you chose one, QLAC. You said, okay, this is the one I want. That carrier is going to have to give you and apply an actual contract number to that contractual guarantee. It makes sense if you think about it. So you have to go through the process to lock that in. You can't just get the quote and a month later say, that's the one I want, because they expire like a gallon of milk. And these are commodity products. Think about buying a QLAC or an immediate annuity, deferred income annuity, whatever it is, but in this case, a QLAC we're talking about, it's like buying a plane ticket. You punch it in, all your specific details, and then you see the guarantees and you can lock in that guarantee. So I get a call the other day about QLACs. I sent the person my books, which you can go to theannuityman.com and get my books, and I'll send them to you for free and under no obligation. One of the owner's manuals is on QLACs, and he thought that was a good idea, and this is why he thought it was a good idea for him. Because his wife was not really interested in the markets and was not really interested in taking over his what he does on a daily basis to manage the money. All she wanted was a guaranteed lifetime income stream. So he actually was inquiring about purchasing the QLAC, obviously joint life with his spouse, and deferring it as far out as age 85 so that there would be an income stream for her for the rest of her life using his IRA assets, even though he was holding his nose the whole way. He was taking Michael Kitz's approach, which is, I can manage the money better than the QLAC guarantee. Well, yeah, it's apples and oranges. And I told the guy the same thing. Yeah, of course, as long as you're coherent, on the ball, knocking the cover off the ball and managing the money and understanding it. He was a really smart guy. Then go do that. But if you want to set something up in the future for your wife so that it is a guaranteed income stream that they can never outlive, and we can structure it so that 100% of the money is going to go to somebody, even if she passes away early, that he was all for that. Even though he knew that he could manage the money better and potentially get a better return, he was locking in that guaranteed income floor for his spouse and putting a transfer risk lifetime income stream in place for her. Think about it. That might be your situation. I encourage you to go to my site, theannuityman.com, book a call, run quotes, use that QLAC Calculator, and go in there and work some numbers and see how that works. And remember, that lifetime income stream is primarily based on your life expectancy or life expectancies at the time you take the payment, not interest rates, okay? So hit the subscribe button, leave comments, book a call, and I'll see you next time on Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video.